News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight, a Nye County deputy is arrested following a shooting.
And a driver is located after crashing into an officer's vehicle. News 25 starts now.
This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell, Eunette Gentry. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
A well-respected officer is arrested after discharging his weapon. It's Tuesday, March 3rd. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Eunette Gentry.
Well, Nye County deputy is under arrest and facing 2 charges in connection with the pursuit of a shoplifting suspect and an officer-involved shooting that occurred last week.
47-year-old James Ramos was arrested Monday and booked into the Nye County Detention Center. Deputy Ramos is facing 2 charges, assault with a deadly weapon and discharging a firearm where a person is endangered. Last Wednesday, February 26th at about 3 a.m., deputies responded to a shoplifting call at Walmart in Pahrump. During the call, deputies pursued one of the 4 shoplifting suspects, eventually catching up to him behind the store on Dahlia Street. During the encounter, Deputy Ramos fired 1 shot with his duty weapon. The bullet did not strike the suspect, and the suspect was not injured. An investigation into the incident determined that the shot was not within Sheriff's Office policy. For News 25, I'm Brad Francis.
And a Pahrump woman has also been cited for a hit-and-run incident involving a Sheriff's Office patrol vehicle.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office reports that one of their officers narrowly escaped injury last night after his vehicle was struck by another car that fled the scene of the accident. It all began around 11 p.m. last night when Deputy Sweet with the Nye County Sheriff's Office conducted a traffic stop on a possible drunk driver traveling on Charleston Park. Officer Sweet says that the vehicle almost struck him and other cars on the roadway. During that traffic stop, Deputy Sweet said that Officer Powell arrived on scene to assist with the traffic stop and subsequent arrest for the alleged DUI driver. At that time, Deputy Powell's SUV was struck then by another vehicle that was passing westbound on Charleston Park. That vehicle was described as a dark in color SUV that fled the scene of the crash. The officer was able to escape injury along with his canine who was in the vehicle with him. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and auxiliary units arrived on scene. Traffic was blocked in all directions, and Nevada Highway Patrol was called on scene to conduct an independent investigation into the officer-involved crash. This morning, officers were able to locate the driver of that vehicle. The female allegedly told police at her residence on Donner Street that she in fact did hit the patrol vehicle and left the scene of the accident. Nevada Highway Patrol was called in once again and issued a citation to the female, who has a court date to face various charges related to the crash. Well, General Motors is ready to show off its lineup of electric vehicles. As Angela Miles reports, they'll unveil their EV plans during a media event Wednesday.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, General Motors will reveal to investors exactly how it plans to take the 110-year-old automaker and make it into an electric automaker that can compete against Tesla. GM is calling Wednesday EV Day as an electric vehicle day. The show and tell will include an unprecedented look at its all-electric vehicles along with charging strategy. More than 150 members of the media have been invited to swing by GM tomorrow. Taking a look at the economy, manufacturing slowed down more than anticipated during the last few weeks. The ISM Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index dropped to 50.1 in February from 50.9 in January. That is the lowest level in a year. Manufacturing is slowing down, coincided with coronavirus.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
And don't grab that remote. We'll be right back here at KPVM, where we are Pahrump's #1 and now Las Vegas's newest news source.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, unfortunately, there are more than 90,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus worldwide. Fortunately, however, so far there have been no reported cases here in Nevada. But local officials are still keeping tabs on the crisis. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue Chief Scott Lewis provided an update on the situation this morning at the Board of County Commissioners meeting.
As of early this morning, the World Health Organization has continued to have the risk assessment of the coronavirus placed at very high. The number of cases continue to grow. Worldwide, there have been over 90,000 reported cases with over 3,000 deaths. This encompasses 73 countries, every continent with the exception of the continent of Antarctica. Currently, a global pandemic is probably on the threshold to have been announced, but has not yet. Currently, there are no antagonists or inoculations available for this particular virus. There is an immediate federal push to try and have such inoculations or antagonists, but it would take approximately 12 to 18 months. The Center of Disease Control remains the primary organization for confirming cases of coronavirus. However, testing kits have been distributed to individual states, and hospitals have access to them. It does take a matter of, depending on the number of tests to be done, it takes anywhere from 3 to 6 hours for the testing process to be completed. So in our preparation, we've met with the state, we've met with Desview Hospital, we've been working closely with the Sheriff's Office, we've been working very closely with the school district, and trying, in a preparation standpoint, in the event that we do get a reported case, it's clearly needs to be known that we do not have any reported cases in Nevada. However, the states surrounding Nevada do have reported cases. So we are clearly keeping track of what is happening around us. Things that we should consider: there are no confirmed cases, I just mentioned. The virus has an incubation period of up to 14 days and may be community spread. The symptoms include a fever, cough, shortness of breath, and pneumonia. People over 50 years old with compromised immune systems are most prone to the virus. Most infections have been passed at the height of the individual or the host symptomatic stage. So not when they're not asymptomatic, but more so when they are symptomatic. The highest risk is for those within 6 feet of an infected person with transmission through the respiratory droplets. As everyone has seen on the news reports, the store shelves are clearing quickly of antiseptic products, water, things along those lines. So don't be the last one to try and get some of those materials. We fully anticipate distribution of weekly updates unless the frequency dictates that we need to have them more often. Through our PIO, Arnold Knightley, this information has been posted on social media, the county website. We are providing press releases to all the media within the town, and we are available for any questions that the public may have. The last thing I want to mention is if you're planning travel, you may want to reconsider, know where you're going, know what the risks are associated with the travel.
And Nye County elections officials are also being proactive about the coronavirus threat. They've purchased cases of hand sanitizer and disinfectant wipes for use at polling locations in the upcoming June primary election.
Well, a Pahrump man is under arrest and facing several charges in connection with the reported home invasion.
Stephen Tousley was booked into the Nye County Detention Center on the following charges: home invasion, robbery, injuring an animal, destroying the property of another, and intercepting or interrupting a phone call. The female complainant called police February 15th to report a home invasion in progress. She told deputies Tousley broke through her back door, beat up her dogs, and broke a window. When deputies arrived, Tousley was no longer in the house. According to the arrest report, the woman says Tousley broke in, then started yelling while breaking things and throwing dishes. The woman grabbed her phone and ran outside to call 911, but says Tousley pulled the phone out of her hand and broke it. She then ran to a neighbor's house to call for help. Through a records check, deputies learned Tousley had been ordered by a judge to have no contact with the woman. A short time later, the woman called from a neighbor's home to report Tousley was back in the house. Deputies made contact with him. According to the arrest report, Tousley stated he did throw the puppy, but not hard enough to hurt it. Deputies say he also admitted to breaking the woman's phone. Tousley was placed under arrest and taken to jail.
Well, unfortunately, many kinds of heart defects are common at birth, but some can be more serious than others. We're introducing you to an Ohio family who, like many new parents, expected to greet a bouncing new baby boy. But instead, their infant son faced a life-threatening heart problem. Erica Foreman has more on how his tiny heart was healed.
Drew and Carrie Erdman expected to welcome their second child with a routine delivery, but their baby boy arrived with a surprise.
Because he had a murmur and there was something that just was not right with him. So at this point, we're in full-blown panic. He's hooked up to all these different machines, and they immediately start talking to us about worst outcomes, that, you know, he has something wrong with his heart and they don't know if he's going to make it or not.
Baby Carson was diagnosed with severe aortic stenosis, a narrowing of the aortic valve's opening, limiting blood flow to his body. He was transported to Cleveland Clinic Children's in heart failure.
Some children don't survive after birth with this type of congenital heart defect. Others, like Carson, do okay for a while.
Carson had open heart surgery to repair his aortic valve, but soon after, his mitral valve began to leak. And at 3 months old, Carson was back in the operating room.
So we repaired the mitral valve, and we replaced the aortic valve with a larger valve, which is the pulmonary valve, and thereby we've given them the best options for that left ventricle to grow as well as to normalize function.
Since his surgery, Carson's heart has improved dramatically, and doctors believe he's avoided a heart transplant.
Overall, he's doing very well. His personality is blooming, starting to move around and be a normal baby.
We're just excited to see him grow and become the little boy that he's born to be.
At Cleveland Clinic, I'm Erica Foreman.
Well, fortunately, that little cutie Carson is thriving and he will continue to be monitored closely. However, when he's older, he will need a minor procedure to replace one of the grafts in his heart. But for now, he's considered to be out of the woods.
So happy about that story. Amazing things that they do nowadays. Well, we'll be right back right after this break.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Nye County's injury attorneys. Don't get bullied by insurance companies. Call Jason Ernest and bully them back at 775-727-9500.
Well, if you like a good whodunit murder mystery, the Shadow Mountain Community Players has just the show for you. For the next 2 weekends, they're performing Murder Most Foul, an interactive murder mystery dinner theater experience happening at Nevada Treasure RV Resort. Carlton McCaslin says it's a lot of fun for everyone.
We're on our 16th year, and we're starting our production with a show called Murder Most Foul. It's one we did once before, but it was really popular, so we brought it back. The deerstalker hat means it's a murder mystery. And in this show, the murderer, there's really no question. He's a vile, despicable man, and you know he's going to get murdered. So the sheriff's department sends out their best detective, Detective Kogumbo. And he needs a little help. I mean, he's brighter than he appears, but so eventually he turns to the audience. And the audience asks questions of all the suspects. Well, everybody in the restaurant is a suspect, all the help. And then their questions are all answered, and then they vote on who they really think the murderer is, and the audience is never wrong. So it gets the audience involved in the show.
So much fun. Well, the show dates are March 6th, 7th, 13th, and 14th. The show times are 6 p.m. Again, it's happening at Nevada Treasure RV Resort. That's at the corner of Highway 160 and Leslie Way on northbound Highway 160. Advance tickets are $25. They are available at the Pahrump Community Library. They're on East Street. Tickets are $30 at the door. Admission includes dinner and a show.
And Nye County Right to Life is calling its recent fundraiser a huge success. The organization, which was founded just more than a year ago, has raised 300 tickets and sold just that amount during its recent spaghetti dinner. And that was held Saturday at Our Lady of the Valley Roman Catholic Church. Joe Brzezinski has more details for us right here.
Tonight we're having our first fundraiser for Nye County's new Right to Life chapter. We just formed that This year, we have our paperwork done so that we are a nonprofit. Our goal and objective is to help keep the unborn from being aborted. And we're also going to put an education program together later this year where we're going to have high school students come to a weekend camp to learn about safe sex and why it's wrong to have abortions. We're real excited tonight because for our first fundraiser we sold over 300 tickets, and that was really fantastic. We have multiple churches involved. We have the First Choice Pregnancy Center here with us today as well, and they've been helping us. Coming up next, we're going to be having a camp for high school students, and the purpose of the camp is to learn about safe sex and about abortion and the harm it can cause a young girl or even a grown-up lady later in life that she feels guilt on it. And they'll learn that and learn how to have relationships, boys and girls, as they're growing up together, to know that there's more things important about relationships than sex. We started this about a year ago with a Stand Up for Life petition, and it kind of grew, and we met Melissa, who is the president of Nevada's Right to Life, and she said, well, you know, we don't have a chapter Right to Life in Nye County, so we said, well, we'll form one. So I met with Pastor Neil Owen. We got together different churches together and formed our group.
Well, congrats to our own Veronica De La Rosa for taking the teen title during this weekend's Cinderella pageant. Here she is with more on that event and others affecting our students and their families.
Hi, I'm Veronica De La Rosa, and this is your student news. The Cinderella Girl Youth Development Scholarship Program pageant was held this past Saturday. Contestants range ages and were judged in groups like Tiny Tots, Infants, Prince Charmings, Tots, Mini Miss, Miss, and Teen. I, Veronica De La Rosa, am very humbled to say that I won the Teen Division, and congratulations to all the other participants who will be moving on to a state competition in June. The Pahrump Valley High School Fashion Show is this Friday, March 6th. It'll show the do's and don'ts for prom wear. And right after, students will be able to buy prom tickets for the very low price of $25. You better buy your tickets soon, or else the prices will skyrocket. Prom will be held at Treasures RV Resort April 18th. Also, Nye County students, next week from March 9th through the 13th is spring break. So enjoy the week off from school, and I'll see you after this break. This has been Veronica De La Rosa with your student news.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, it's time to take a look outside at what conditions were like earlier today through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam. And that weather bug is picking everything up from Pahrump all the way to the Las Vegas Strip. We'll take a closer look at our forecast and what we can expect temperature-wise throughout the valley and beyond after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hello and welcome back to News 25. I'm Michael Donohue with today's weather. In Las Vegas, we had a high of 73 degrees, the low of 50. In Death Valley, 84, their low is 56 degrees. 74, 44 in Amargosa, 69, 40 in Beatty, 58, a low of 27 in Goldfield, 57 for the high in Tonopah and Carson City, 27 for the low in Tonopah, 26 in Carson City, 60 degrees with a low of 27 in Fallon, and 61 with a low of 31 up in Fernley. Now today in Pahrump, we saw sunny skies. Our high today was 72 degrees. Winds coming out of the north at 15 miles per hour, 19% for our humidity, and our sunrise at 6:10 this morning. Now for tonight, we're going to continue on with those clear skies. A low is going to be 44 degrees. It is currently 67 outside with 11-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the northeast, 41% for our humidity, and our sunset at 5:41 later tonight. Now looking ahead to our 7-day, looks like Wednesday is going to be the last day we're going to see that sun for a little bit, because on Thursday we got some heavy clouds rolling in and they're just going to be hanging out all through the first half of next week. Now along with those clouds, we're also going to be seeing some high winds coming in, up to 14 miles per hour on Friday, up to 16 miles per hour Saturday, and then down to 11 miles per hour by Monday. Temperature-wise, on Wednesday to Friday, we're just going to be seeing our highs at about 74 to 77 degrees, dropping down to those 60s on Saturday, then 69 degrees, and then 62 and 66 on Sunday and Monday, then back up to a high of 70 by next Tuesday. For our overnights, we're not really seeing too many changes. We're still going to be seeing our lows in about those mid to high 40s, just between 44 and 48 degrees, with the exception of Thursday and Friday, where we're going to be seeing those lows at 50 and 51 degrees. So now at that, we're going to throw it back to the desk with Deanna and Eunette.
Well, I'm super excited about what's happening at the Moose Lodge this weekend.
Yes, shopping.
I know, huh?
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
So women of the Moose are having their annual yard sale, and that is going to start on Friday from 8 to 4 and Saturday 8 to 2. And if you want to find some good items, they've been collecting all year long.
Yes.
See, so there you go.
Thrifting is always great.
Exactly. So stop on by the Moose Lodge this Friday and Saturday and see what they got. They are right there on East Street near 2nd. Stop on by and see them. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Eunette Gentry. And from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks so much for joining us tonight. And we will see you again tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.